The UFC is returning to the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada for UFC 313. Probably the biggest pay-per-view we've had this year. The biggest fight of the year was going to be Islam versus Arman. We didn't get that fight. Now this is the biggest fight of the year so far to take place. A lot of us weren't sure if we were going to get it. We didn't think that we were going to get it. We're getting it. It's going to happen. I made a video further predicting the main event. Go check that video out. It's in the playlist down below. It's in the description down below. Please check that out. In this video, we're going to break down every single fight on this card, starting from the main event, working our way up to the very first fight of the night. Share this to somebody I know they enjoy just like you did. Like, comment, subscribe. We're going to be live for these fights Saturday, watching some fights, having fun. Come check your boy out. Hang out with your boy. We bet. We put a little money here and there. We have fun. We crack jokes. We do all the things. Speaking of putting our money where our mouth is, tomorrow, the bets drop. Also, I'm going to show it in this video and the betting video. I made a recap. I did make a recap. I mean, if you watched the first video, you know it hit, right? But I did do a recap, just so y'all don't think I'm hiding. I did a recap, and my entire OBS just crashed. Check it out. Took a lot of me to turn this camera on today, because I'm hot. I'm real hot. Right now, we're supposed to be looking at the bets. I'll fast forward a bit. This one, like I said, I have to rewatch this one. In the moment, I had money on Williams, so that entire thing just, my OBS just fucked up. So, and I wasn't going to re-record the video. It's just not something I do, because I had a lot of strong emotions in this video that I wasn't going to be able to recapture. So I just don't do that. But I just want to show y'all, I did make a recap. We've rambled enough. Let's get into this fight night. If you just skip to this time step, I said in the intro, I went into further deeper explanation, further deeper dive into this fight that I will not do in this video. Check out the video in the description, in the playlist, UFC 313. Check that video out. I'm going to cut to the chase. I picked Alex Pereira by KO. I think Magomed is going to be able to get takedowns. I just don't think he's going to be able to hold Pereira down. I think they're going to be training, not necessarily takedown defense, because you're probably going to get taken down, but I think they're going to be training getting up. Magomed's submission game in his BJJ isn't that much of a threat to where Alex Pereira won't be able to take a rest to get back to his feet. And like we saw in his Jan Blachowicz fight, whenever he gets to his feet, whether it's 30 seconds left or 3 minutes left, he's going to utilize that time to get some moments, to sway some judges, do more damage, and utilize his time as best as he can. I think he's going to be the leg kicks are going to be there like they were when he fought Rakic. Don't look at the UFC stats. Watch the fight. He was not checking those kicks like they were against Jan Blachowicz. I think Alex Pereira is a better leg kicker than both of them. Less telegraphed. It's a second. Literally, it takes him a second to throw his kick and land it. Super hard to read, and they're super damaging, as we can see. Magomed showed in his Jan Blachowicz fight that he could shoot with hurt legs. I mean, his takedowns were still beautiful. Rounds 3, 4, and 5 with no legs. But I think the thing about Alex Pereira is he's going to be able to back Magomed up when they're on the feet. And Magomed backing up just isn't going to be that good at shooting takedowns. Now, Magomed is still fast, still crisp, good shots. Not enough pop on them for Alex to respect. I think Alex is going to walk through. I think Alex is going to activate Guerrero mode. I think he's going to clip farm. I think he's going to KO Magomed Ankalaev. Yes, I understand this is the hardest fight that Alex has ever fought in his UFC career. 25 minutes is a long time to avoid the power of Poatan. That's all I'm saying. Moving on. We got the fuck going on? UFC.com? Moving on. We got the highlight versus Rafael Fiziev. Banger matchup on paper, but I doubt it's as good as the first fight. I'm a firm believer in tune-ups if you're not in the title picture. Fiziev needs a tune-up. I'm a bit upset for him because Gaethje is no tune-up. We're talking 2 years outside of the cage with a major injury, major multi-surgery injury. Conor McGregor said it best. And he said, inactivity makes a fool of us all. Funny looking back on that quote nowadays because it's Conor who said it. But he said that after his KO loss to, I want to believe, number 2 ranked lightweight in the world, Dustin Poirier, in their second fight. And he's right. Justin Gaethje is the highest level of lightweight besides the champion. And to come back after a long layoff, I just don't like that. I think he should have been fighting a BSD. You see what I'm saying? A tune-up to get back in there. Because under the bright lights, it's different than just training. It's different. Fiziev is a Muay Thai guy, a timing guy, an accuracy guy. His bread and butter is his kicks. His kicks are lightning. He's also a very explosive guy. Relies on fast and explosive movements. Does it sound familiar? I'm referring to Conor McGregor. Obviously, they're not the same style, but I understand Gaethje's chin may not be the same, but unless he eats some toes to the lips, he should be fine. Gaethje has always done the chicken dance, you know. He just actually went out this time. And it could be the beginning of the end, but I'm not going to just use that to sway what I think is going to happen, especially since I know Fiziev fades fast. Gaethje should be able to pull this one off. He's been on a camp to fight a striker. Fiziev is a much faster and compact than Hooker, but Fiziev hasn't been in a camp for any fight. Now you're taking it on, 10 days notice? Justin Gaethje? Fiziev should have had a tune-up, but instead he steps up against Gaethje, and I think it's a huge mistake. I think Justin Gaethje is going to beat this guy. I wouldn't be surprised about a finish, but I think he's going to beat him by decision. Moving on, UFC.com's tripping. So this is what we got of Jalen Turner and Bahamondes. I'm sorry. Fixes for the next fight. This is my fight of the night. Crazy to say, because you got Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev directly after it. But this is my fight of the night. Another fight to remind us all why lightweight is the best division in the world. We already know Justin Gaethje's that guy. We already know Fiziev's that guy. Esteban and Nazarat, 2 unranked lightweights, just reminded us last week. Shout out to Esteban, you got brutally robbed. But they reminded us last week why lightweight is the best division in the world. And these two will continue it. I look at Jalen as the more dangerous fighter in this matchup. But he clearly fades, and he fades hard. Jalen should be a welterweight. I've been saying that for years. It'll help his durability. It'll help his cardio. Lightweight Jalen Turner, at the sign of adversity, he kind of shies away. Kind of crumbles under adversity. That's just how I feel. And Ignacio matches Jalen's length, and I feel as if Jalen's boxing, while being dangerous because he does have power and he can land shots, I think it's a bit overrated. He's tagging these guys with no head movement, and Ignacio is just not that. Ignacio sets a pace, has the length to match, nasty speed, won't fade as fast, has beautiful movement on the feet. He trusts himself in the fire. He has great instincts. He's able to slip shots. He's able to pull. He has good head movement. He's not going to be on the center line. And I think Ignacio turns the heat up and runs away from Jalen Turner in rounds 2 and 3. Ignacio is my pick, and I do have money on Ignacio. Bahamondes. Now we got Amanda Lemos versus Yasmin Lucindo. Interesting female bout. Amanda off of a loss is scary. I remember what she did to Mackenzie Dern. Oh my gosh. Mac Dog. He got brutalized. Shot. But look, Amanda has the Muay Thai strike. Fast hands. Really, really good power. You have to respect the power. Okay, BJJ. Take down the fence. It's okay. But she can be complacent on her back. The thing is, the people taking Amanda down and dominating her there are the best grapplers in WMA. We're talking Verna Generoba. We're talking Zhang Wei Li. Lucindo's takedown is not on that level. It's just not. It's more brute strength. It's more of her being a dog. It's more of her imposing her will. She has bad technique on the feet as well. A lot of looping shots where Amanda could be catching her straight. I think she's going to be a sitting duck on the feet. She has bad entries on her takedowns. But her heart, her grit, and her ability to impose her will, which I always say gets you a long way in this division in WMA, is what has been getting her over the top. She barely squeaked out against Marina Rodriguez. I don't think that's going to be enough for Amanda. I'm picking Amanda. I'll probably bet the plus 3.5. I'm picking Amanda Lemos to get this one done. Moving on. I'm trying to be quick. Turn these things into a quick piece because I tend to ramble. Y'all know what it is with me. We got King Green versus Mauricio. Is it Ruffy? Ruffy? I don't know. Huffy? He's Brazilian. I don't know. Anyways, he should KO Green. Even if Ruffy fades, he carries power late. We saw that. He still slips and rips beautifully. He still has good timing. King isn't as durable as he once was, ladies and gentlemen. He's fast. He relies on his timing, his instincts with his hand-slow style, which is just, the older you get, the less you're able to do that. He pull counters, he slips and rips, but he leaves his chin on the silver platter. And he's an idiot if he comes in this fight like that against Ruffy, but I know he will because that's how he fights. So Ruffy by KO is the pick, and I'll probably bet it. Sorry if I made it seem super simple, but that's how I feel about it. Moving on, we got Curtis Blaydes versus Rizvan Kuniev. I'm going to roll with Curtis Blaydes. No bets. Curtis is hard to trust nowadays, man, because he hasn't shot a takedown in about 5 fights. Dead ass serious. Could even be longer. 2-3 years. Hasn't shot a takedown. That's his best skill. He's fallen too much in love with his mediocre boxing, and that's why he won't beat these huge punchers or get to a belt. He fights a former juiced Rizvan, who seems to be off the sauce. Proven he can wrestle a little bit. Has respectable enough striking to where you got to respect him. But I'm rolling with Curtis. Nothing that he's never seen. Curtis should be the better boxer. Should be cleaner, more crisp. I know he won't shoot a takedown, which is just frustrating. I'm going to pick Curtis. I'm going to pick the seasoned veteran. Curtis Blaydes. Shoot a takedown, why don't you? Now we got Joshua Van versus Ray Tsuruya. Classic striker versus grappler matchup here. Who can have more success in their respective worlds? Ray is Tatsuro Taira at home. Former casual parlay winner, by the way. Non-stop wrestling, disgusting BJJ, very creative on top and on bottom. He's just searching, He's trying new creative techniques to get his opponents out there. He's submission hunting. He's trying to pop. He's always working. He sets a high pace, and because he's always working, he slows down as the rounds go on. But his opponent's normally slow as well because of the pace, so he's usually still the fresher man in those situations. Interesting matchup here. I refer to Josh as a striker, but he can grapple. But the bread and butter is the hands. Highest volume in the UFC. Not much pop, but overwhelms guys. He just brutalized Cody Durden in a very, very impressive fight. Stuffed his takedowns. It made the fight miserable on the feet for Cody. Battering Cody. And for that performance, I'm rolling with the flyweight Max Holloway. I think Ray's going to be able to have some success grappling in the first round. But I think as the fight goes on, Josh is going to pull away. He's going to start shucking him off. He's going to start scrambling. He's going to start making Ray look like a nerd. I think he's going to make Ray look like a nerd. One of those jiu-jitsu nerds who just wants to pull guard. And not saying that's what he's going to do, but I think he's going to make Ray look desperate to get the fight to the ground, and he won't be able to. And I think Josh is going to show him there's levels to this shit on the feet. So I'm picking Joshua Van. By decision. Moving on, we got Bruno Ferreira versus Armen Petrosyan. And this was simple. Does Bruno find the shot? That's the question you should ask yourself. If you believe Bruno finds the shot, bet Bruno. If you don't, bet Armen. It's that simple to me. Armen will be the better, more technical striker. But Bruno is ridiculously dangerous. Bruno has BJJ in his back pocket if things go south, but that's going to be the back of his mind because he's going to be throwing big, meaty. Armen is a former kickboxer, but will brawl with his opponent at times, and that gets him in trouble because he is a technical striker who can keep range, who can stick and move. He's a former kickboxer for crying out loud. But once his hands get to going, he gets too comfortable inside, too willing to throw down. And that's where I think Bruno can beat him and where he can catch him. I'll probably sit back with no bet and enjoy the show. But I think Bruno Ferreira is going to knock out Armen Petrosyan. I'm not just saying that because Shara knocked him out. I think Bruno is very, very dangerous in the hands and has the power to knock out anybody in the division. And with Armen willing to brawl at times, this is just not the guy you want to brawl with. I think Bruno's going to catch him. I think Bruno's going to KO him. That's my pick. We got Alex Morono versus Carlos Leal. I'm scared because Carlos Leal, first off, he was horribly robbed in China. But rumor has it he was on the sauce. No proof of that. But boy, if he wasn't. This guy's nice. Power in the hands. Cardio for days. Strong base. Can defend takedown after takedown. And secure his own. Alex is goofy. He's hard to trust, man. He cashed my plus 3.5 against D-Rod in the casual parlay. I appreciate that. But Leal, he's nasty. He defended 17 takedowns against Renat Fakhretdinov. He's nuts. A physical specimen. As physical as all hell. And I think he's just gonna impose his will against poor Alex. I think he's gonna impose his will against poor Alex. He might even find a finish. The pick is Carlos Leal. Now we got Marion Santos, a fight that I'm very excited for, versus Francis Marshall. Ultimate Fighter win, Marion Santos. Beautiful movement, beautiful striking, beautiful speed, beautiful head movement, big power in the hands as well. Hard to hit, very hard to track down. And that's gonna give Francis problems, I feel, because he's more of a grappler than a striker. Definitely slower than Marion. Wants to march forward, try to get his hands on his opponents. Has some striking. Pretty heavy-handed as well. Some power that you do have to respect. He will land something on you. But he's more well-rounded. Good here, decent here. Good speed on his takedowns, however. Good speed. Good entries on his takedowns. But he's hittable. He's very hittable. And Marion's going to be moving around the cage, landing. I think he's going to be too fast. Rolling with the Marion Santos. Now we got Jordan Santos versus Ozzy Diaz. This should be a scrap, huh? I mean, Ozzy likes to move, land big. He's hittable, but doesn't mind risking it for the biscuit. He's never been to a decision in his career. He's completely down. He's coming down to middleweight. Is that light heavy? Yang sent his ass back to middleweight. It was just a little too much for him, which is okay. Jordan is decent. Look at this player build, man. Oh man, he's 0 feet. He's 0 feet, 0 inches tall. He's 6 foot, guys. He's 6 foot. Jordan's decent, though. He can strike. He can wrestle. Not too dangerous, but is comfortable fighting wherever the fight takes place. He's pretty durable as well. He's just so much bigger than Jordan. I mean, he was fighting at light heavyweight. He was a fat light heavyweight, but he was fighting there. 6'4" frame. He's going to be longer. He's going to be bigger. I think he's going to be able to show his level of striking against an okay striker and a smaller opponent who also happens to not be too dangerous. I'm not going to bet this at all. This is another fight you sit back, you enjoy the show. But I'm actually going to roll with the underdog in Ozzy Diaz. And there was another fight added. UFC ain't updated yet. We can pull it up. The good old Tapology. The good old Tapology. New fight added to the card last minute. Chris Gutierrez was supposed to fight Gene Matsumoto. Gene Matsumoto replaced Dominic Cruz, fought a couple weeks earlier against Rob Font. Performed well. He's getting a replacement in Sexy Mexi John Castañeda. John was supposed to fight veteran Douglas Silva de Andrade last week in the Apex, and now he's fighting another vet, but less dangerous, in Chris Gutierrez. And hold on now, don't do me like this. I was on the roll. And I can say the same thing for Chris Gutierrez. He's fighting an up-and-comer, a less dangerous up-and-comer in John Castañeda and Sexy Messi, because Sexy Messi is not as dangerous as Gene Matsumoto. So both are fighting similar fighters, just less dangerous. So it should be good. I think Sexy Messi should be the better fighter here, the more reliable fighter here. I think he's going to be able to wrestle. I think he's going to be able to push a pace. I think in his last fight against Daniel Marcos, he wasn't able to go forward. I mean, Daniel Marquez was just lighting him up. Marcos was just lighting him up. Chris ain't going to be able to do that. I think John's going to be able to get on put his foot on the pedal, come forward, get in Chris's face, and edge out a decision. UFC 313, that's been it. It's going to be fun. Come hang out with your boy Saturday. Tune in tomorrow for the picks. Like, comment, subscribe, share this to somebody. Don't be stingy. Share me. Don't be silly, jump the gilly. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here, man. Yeet.